What's up guys, this is Paco Manel back with another video. Now that I've had some time to use the Nintendo Switch and integrate it into my entertainment system, let's find out if you should switch. We all know the Switch is a hybrid system built for gaming at home or on the go, and we all know it fits into your pocket or backpack nicely with its slim compact form factor, so let's take a look at the hardware itself. When it comes to raw power, the Nintendo Switch might not be as powerful as the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but it is competent and it's definitely no slouch at all. The processor is a quad-core ARM Cortex running at 1020MHz, and the GPU is an NVIDIA Tegra X1 chip with 256 CUDA cores running at 768MHz docked and 307MHz undocked. The Switch also has 4GB of RAM. While games run and look absolutely beautiful on the 6.2-inch 720p display when using the Switch undocked, you can play on a 1080p screen when you dock the Switch as it boosts the GPU power accordingly and will be able to output 1080p natively just like the PS4 and Xbox One. However, it is unclear whether or not most games will run natively in 1080p or run at an upscaled 900p resolution such as Zelda Breath of the Wild. So don't worry if you're not too keen on playing games at 720p as it only runs at that resolution when undocked. Not that 720p would be a big problem anyway, since I've played games on a Vita and 3DS and the resolutions are even lower than 720p, yet games still look fine on a small screen. It doesn't look like the console will support HDR either, which is something all PS4s support with a software update, as does the new Xbox One S. While the Switch is clearly inferior when it comes to technical specs, I still don't have a problem with it as Nintendo games never really focus on graphical technical prowess, rather they focus on gameplay. When it comes to specs, the only complaint I have would be the storage capacity and the fact that it can't record or stream gameplay videos. Yet. It only has an internal storage of 32GB, which can be expanded using a microSD or other SD card types, so keep that in mind. If you're getting a Switch, you probably should have an extra SD card ready to expand storage. With just 32GB of onboard storage compared to 2TB you can get on Sony and Microsoft consoles, there's not much room for media or game downloads. Nintendo's online subscription service will include free game downloads every month, so you'll need to keep an eye on your console to make sure you have enough room for the games. You'll probably buy most of your games physically. These will come on Nintendo game cards, a format with a capacity of around 16GB. This is significantly smaller than the massive 50GB games you can get on the bigger consoles, but since these games will be much more stylized and less detailed than those, it's no surprise. In terms of audio, there's no high-quality optical SPDIF port on the Switch. This isn't a big problem, but it is worth bearing in mind if you're setting up the Switch as part of a high-end home cinema system. When it comes to battery life, the life expectancy of a full charge is around 3 to 12 hours depending on what game you're playing. That's a huge range, but thankfully charging is easy. You just need to dock the device to charge it. And you can boost the charge by using a power bank, so the battery life really isn't an issue for me. After all the technical discussion, ultimately whether you buy a Switch will be down to the games you want to play. Nintendo exclusives remain strong, including Zelda and Mario titles as well as Splatoon and dozens more to come. Third-party support has also been announced, and I for one am looking forward to playing Skyrim in bed or on the go. The Nintendo Switch is a technically fascinating console with loads of features that might take time to fulfill their potential. At $300, it will be a harder sell than the bigger players, PS4 and Xbox One, but those consoles can't do gaming on the move. A huge deal for many people. Judging by the quality of the console and how well it just works, I can tell that this is potentially a huge game changer for Nintendo, and it's up to them to capitalize on this by giving what consumers want: substantially more games than the Wii U. Ultimately, the Switch isn't really designed as a straight up rival to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, if only because you'd probably already own one of those systems. In my mind, the most compelling argument for the Switch is as a complementary console, one which adds unique functionality and a handful of tempting exclusives, namely The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, to your gaming arsenal. For hardcore gamers, die-hard Nintendo fans, and those with long commutes, buying the Switch may be something of a no-brainer. But for the rest of us, $300 is a steep asking price for something that will probably live its life as a secondary system, unless of course Nintendo surprises us with numerous exclusives and excellent third-party support. So if you're thinking of buying one right now, it might be a good idea to hold off until more games come out. There you have it guys, my review of the Nintendo Switch. Let me know in the comments section down below whether or not you're getting a Switch. As always, I'm your host, Paco MNL, and I'll catch you in a future video.